Okay, the time is 3 o'clock. I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. First thing we'll do is establish a quorum. So may we have roll call, please?
Vice Chairman London,
Here.
Commissioner Moore,
Here.
Commissioner Garza,
Here.
Chairman Sewell,
Here.
Commissioner Smith,
Here.
Commissioner Klein, present. Commissioner Stewart.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum. First item on the agenda is the approval of agenda, and I was notified that item C under new business will have to be moved to future agenda items due to the applicant not able to attend this meeting. And that was all I was notified, so with that, can I accept the motion?
Section 17, and is consistent with the city's comprehensive plan. All adjoining property owners either protest
were you going to speak on this project, Mr. Light? Okay. We'll go ahead and have you come up and I'll swear you in. Is the applicant here? Yes, certainly, of course. All right. Do you swear and affirm that the statements you give today will be truthful? Thank you. All right. So with that, Mr. Leidig or our developer, sir, if you'd like to come up and just give us a brief before we ask questions.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the commission. If you'll recall, it was a meeting or two ago, we had this item before you for a zone approval where we went through the project and the zoning was approved. And as you can just kind of refresh your memory, the bottom cul-de-sac that you see before you, that is going to be multi-family development, duplex, typical construction in that area. And then as you move further north, that colony court will be developed as a part of this development, and they are single-family residential. We have all the utilities are available for extension through this subdivision to provide service to every lot. We will be extending the sewer line from an area further to the east where unit number 1 of the colonies presently sits. The sewer line will be extended west and then up through the platted alley as you see. It will also provide service to all the utilities. The streets are currently in the development stage, and as well as the sewer lines, the one that's closest to 21st Street will actually be an excavated area. The detention capacity of that area will be enhanced. And then we will, further to the north where you see the open space and the secondary stormwater basin, what that area will be, it'll be excavated to a lesser degree to where it will function as an overflow area for the primary basin should a large storm event occur. That area will also be a walking area used for the patrons and the owners of the subdivision itself. So that's a quick overview. We talked about a lot of this, I know, a few months ago or a couple months ago, and if there's a specific question, I'll probably be best to just answer that.
Thank you, Mr. Leidig. Does any of the commissioners have any questions or concern for Mr. Leidig or the developer? Or do we have comments from the other attendees, public, interested parties? Yes, ma'am. You're going to have to come up and be sworn in. We'll ask for your address and then your name, okay?
Susan Creedle, 401 Inger Way.
All right. Do you swear and affirm that your testimony today will be truthful?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Go ahead.
So I did not have the details of the development just received. Instead, I would receive more information, which actually seeing the development that's planned, that's the first time I've seen that. I hope to look at that closer. I have been at the residence that I'm at, that is again their property that I believe is being disconnected home, and I've been there for what I would like to see of my home. But that's really the only thing I have to say. Is that personal opinion, because I really didn't even know what this looks like, and I still, to be really honest, don't know what it will look like right behind my fence in the future if this goes on. I would just like all of that to be taken into consideration. Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Any other comments or concerns to be brought up to the commission? Yes, Mr. Morris.
Name and address. Yes. Mike Morris,
Sorry,
thank you.
you-
Mr. Dean Rang.
All right, do you swear and affirm that your testimony today will be truthful?
Yes, yes, sir.
Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So I just want to, and I hit on this when we talked about this a couple of months ago, and have visited with Mr. Leidick about it a little bit, but I just, it, car volume and all of those kinds of things. If you move a mile, I look at this, north, you have the rain trees of Norris, and now you're talking about adding housing further east of that subdivision, but you know, a couple of things that are different here versus up at the Raintree would be maybe the distance that Putnam is going to need to extend, perhaps, and I don't know this, but perhaps the number of units that would be at the end of Putnam now, elementary school, just and west side of Norris and Putnam. And so there is a lot of folks, a lot of kids, and a lot of families walking up and down Putnam Street, a street where I already hear from folks about, you know, the speed of traffic and all those kinds of things. And so, you know, I love that this division is happening, and even the multifamily portion, I just know what the market is going for and what it needs. I'm happy to see this happening. I would just love to see some sort of access to this subdivision off of East 21st, or maybe even from Humphrey, but I understand, you know, the developer has decided to begin developing on the far west side of this section now versus, you know, the far east side. So I can see the challenges with that. I just wonder about car count, the safety of pedestrians on Putnam, and perhaps if there's any changes in the timeline by which the developer would be adding some relief off of East 21st into this subdivision. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Leidick, did you want to comment on that? Thank you.
greater lanes both for entry into the subdivision as well as exiting. And then over on Humphrey Road, we had two roads that came out on Humphrey, and those will also get A-cell, D-cell lanes. And that was, that study was done by a master traffic engineer, one done by myself. That studied this whole area and came up with those recommendations, which this Planning and Zoning Commission, as well as the City of Clovis, studied and approved. So we have a plan for all of the colony subdivision. Nothing's being done haphazard. It's all a part of that master plan that was submitted and approved. What has happened right here, this area is not a part of the original colony subdivision. If you will remember, this is I believe, it's a Baptist church. I can't remember the name right now. Okay, and this was the old National Guard Armory, which is an abandoned, dilapidated structure at this time. And if you'll notice, just a refresh going back, this is part of this subdivision as well, and the developer is going to refurnish, tear down, rebuild that old armory building, and that's going to be an office for his construction company, real estate offices, various things like that, the warehouse that they will operate out of while they develop the entire subdivision. So this is part of it too. So this features a great cleanup of a pretty tough area. If you've ever been down this area after storm, this area overflows with stormwater, comes across the church property, and just sits in this whole area. So by developing this, providing it, excavating it, increasing the capacity, we're going to clean that up, we're going to clean this up. And there's only 20 lots that are multifamily in this entire subdivision. It's probably 115 acres. And the reason these came about, like I said, this is an area that's not part of it. It was purchased later, and it's good because of what we've got here to do some multifamily and then phase from multifamily into single family. So there will be increased loading on Putnam once this develops until such time as the colonies works its way over to here in connection with Putnam. But it's up to the developer. He could comment on it if you'd like. But that's kind of the master plan, the master development plan, the master traffic control plan, all those things that were done and were previously approved. Chris, do you have anything you want to add?
Can you come to the mic?
Yeah, I think everyone, when they live in a neighborhood, always are concerned about traffic flow, safety, those kinds of things. The reason, one, this property that we're discussing today was purchased later than the original property. So when I bought it, I was like, well, what do I do? What does the market need? And that's where I come up with multifamily. I mean, we already have 290 lots proposed in the, or not proposed, actually approved in the original 110 acres. So when I bought, I believe this is 13.4 acres, so in total it takes us to like 123. I want to redo the armory and make it not an eyesore. I don't know how to do that yet, so if anyone's got any tips, I'd appreciate those. But redo it where it's a viable building. But I didn't need the extra land for an office. So looking around multifamily, I think we have the market is really speaking, we have a pretty strong need there. So really the only change in the whole master development of the colonies in totality is the additional 20 lots of duplexes is what I plan to build, not, apartment complexes or anything like that. It's just duplexes. And yes, it will tie in off of Putnam, but my intent is to get this built and with right. Colony Court actually goes up and kind of makes almost like a candy cane shape, if you will, and back down. And we do have a will, like he said, the traffic study, and we're going to adhere to that. So really, with today's change, traffic pattern or proposed change is 20 multi-family, 21st or Humphrey.
So I do have a question on that. So what is the time frame for building those duplexes as of right now?
So going off of how long it took us to do the infrastructure for phase one there, and then my intent is to start the single family residences that would border Putnam and Colony Court at the same time as I'm starting one or two duplexes and kind of work down to the time.
And then, so the entry to that, you're going to do, and then that other entryway coming in at the same time. You're not building all of these and just making the Putnam entrance.
I'm
You're
coming
building all
off
of these.
Putnam to start, and when I get to the next phase, that I come off at 21st, I'll tie in Colony Court. So the entrance will be, Putnam will be extended, and then it'll drop straight down into the.
And I think that's the concern is you're just building it all off of Putnam.
Sure.
In
For a short time.
yeah.
Right.
Well, a short time being 6 to 9 months.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's all right relative. I mean,
Yeah.
and truthfully, I don't think I can get Colony Court built a year later. In the scope of developing 120 acres is a relatively short period of time.
Okay. Because I think what we're saying, we'd like to see another entrance into that as you're building it with Putnam. I mean, obviously, that's what we're
Sure. Fair enough.
Okay. And Mr. Laddick, how deep are those storm drains going to be? Are those storage runoff?
I mean, the storage capacity comes from areas that are not in the colony subdivision. Right. It comes from the areas to the north and northwest. So we have to let one of the study on that come up with a polynomial and start running all of it and from the actual site. Plus, and then I'm working on.
Questions or concerns?
Well, the storm basin has to be taken over by the city for either maintenance or ownership once completed.
The city may want to answer that. I think the developer keeps it for a certain period of time and they go to the city. Is that correct?
Correct. The developer maintains it after the completion of the subdivision. They maintain it for 1 year, and then it becomes the city's
Ownership.
for maintenance.
Or does
This
it?
one is a good thing for the city to have because, like I said, it catches runoff. Probably 3/4 of the runoff that this basin will catch will be from areas that are already developed in the city. Not what Mr. Ross is putting in.
Any other questions or concerns? Okay. Well, with that, any other comments from the public or any guests here? Yes, sir. Give me your name and address, and I'll swear you in.
Daniel Platt, 100 Providence Circle.
Okay, you swear and affirm that the statement you give today will be truthful?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Go on ahead.
Yeah, this one, my question is more to Mr. Lydek and on those basins. I know you're looking at collecting a lot of the water stuff from major storms or stuff that come through, but I haven't heard anything of what's going to happen with the drainage plan that's supposed to be going down this project, because those basins are great, but what happens is when we get storms in the past, it floods 21st and comes over into Dominion, and then hits Providence Circle. And since that lot is not developed on that side, there's no drain, there's no storm basin in that the southeast corner of that lot. So right now, yes.
Will greatly increase the storage capacity of the basin that's there now. It has very little capacity, will greatly enhance that. If that overflows, it'll flow into our secondary basin area. If that overflows, then it will exit out on the 21st, which is where your concern is. And then, it's, you know, it runs down 21st Street till it gets to Humphrey and it crosses at that intersection. The city does have land, but they're not in place in the foreseeable near future to take a storm drain line up Humphrey from 7th Street where, you know, we've got the big transverse drop inlet. We've got all the easements necessary for the line, but it'll go west now. There'll be a enhance it from what it is now. But if that basin overflows, yes, it will go down 21st Street to the Humphrey Street intersection.
I'm not mistaken, was this walking line? I saw some pieces online earlier before we started, so. Well, is there any more comments from the public, staff, or, well? I see Mr. Hubbard's little icon on it. I don't know if he wants to say something on behalf of the city. Okay, well then, we'll go ahead and move on. With that, I can either call for a motion, or unless anyone has anything else to say, we can talk about it. All right, motion from Commissioner Klein.
Second.
Second from Commissioner London. May we have roll call, please?
Chairman Sewell,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Klein, Commissioner Stewart,
Yes.
Commissioner Lund,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Garza.
Yes.
Okay, with all in the affirmative, the motion passes. So, next item on the agenda is item B. This is the discussion and recommendation regarding preliminary plat of the Windy Plains subdivision. Would you go ahead and brief us, Mr. Chancho?
Thank you, Chairman. The request for approval of the Windy Plains subdivision preliminary plat meets the standards of Chapter 17.65 and Appendix A of the city's Unified Development Ordinance, and is consistent with the city's comprehensive plan. All adjoining property owners within 100 feet of the affected area were notified with zero responding in written protest. There is no evidence there would be a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare, which is unique to the proposed request.
Okay, thank you for that. Any comments or questions, or anyone from the audience applicant would like to speak on this project? Sir, did you raise your hand? All right, go ahead. Go ahead and come up to the mic, and I will swear you in. Name and address, please.
I am John Sharkey from Victory Base, and address is not in the city of Clovis, so 1212 Elm Grove Lane, Keller, Texas.
All right, that's fine. I go ahead and swear you in. You swear and affirm that what you say today will be true.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, it's absolutely my pleasure to be here today to talk about a plan that we're putting together to acquire the Windy Plains subdivision here in in the city of Clovis. Our company, Victory Base, is a real estate development and acquisitions company that focuses around military bases, and our mission is to improve the financial future of service members across the nation. We ourselves are veterans, and we understand the trials and tribulations and activity around all of this. Our Uncle Sam sends them. They dutifully go where they are told, and so we looked at a couple of issues and problems as it relates to the housing opportunities for service members as they're bouncing around, and we thought to get creative about it, and we develop from the ground up single-family home subdivisions. Currently, we've got some land positions in South Carolina, Florida, and Arizona. And this particular opportunity came about, and it was obviously one of the 801 housing projects done in 1991, 92. And so this not necessarily was exactly what we do as far as the bread and butter, but it presented itself an opportunity to accomplish our mission, which is improve the financial future of service members. And by the way, we don't exclusively serve just the military or the media. Here that doesn't necessarily have to do with this, but it's more of a background about our company and our mission. I'm not going to walk through it today, but it is a reference document about us and what we're trying to do. So I was going to pass that out to anybody interested in the commission.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm not going to walk through it exclusively, but really what we're here for today is all about the ownership mindset, which is a key part of of improving that financial future of the service members. Is when they feel like they own something, if they feel that ownership mindset, they take better care of it, they improve it into their capacity. And so when we go out and develop, we develop individually platted lots. This particular one in Clovis was on one plot, 200 homes, community center, a couple of tot lots and basketball courts and tennis courts, and a maintenance shed, and it was all on one single parcel. And so our idea was, well, let's go back and see if it can be 200 individual parcels, so we'd have the opportunity to really imbue that ownership mindset by selling these properties off individually to homeowners, to residents that are currently living there, and to anybody interested in buying a house in this community. And our business plan is to improve the homes prior to selling them, to take where they are now, which in our due diligence have shown that they're in fairly decent shape, and improve upon them and make them better and higher quality and all.
Concerns?
So do you do anything to the houses before? Like whenever you purchase all of this and you lot it out, do you do anything to the houses before you start to sell them? Or what happens with that process?
Yeah, so we would absolutely we fix them up to whatever the market would bear, and we believe that that current residents would want to they would qualify, they just want to stay in the house that they're in, and the homeowners would turn their numbers out. We're going to go in, fix it up, get it ready for sale, and then market it to the market.
And y'all will own all of the maintenance sheds and the basketball courts and all that stuff. Y'all will keep that.
That's correct. Yeah, we would own that and control that, and have an association that would effectively control that, those particular common areas like the community center and the lots and the courts and things like that.
Yeah, question.
So all of the residents, they can stay.
Yeah, yeah. There's no forcibly putting people or anything on nature. It would be just a natural choice if they want to leave or if they turned over and the apartment or home, excuse me, the homes became vacant.
It's to rent, or they have to buy to stay.
No,
They
no.
wait until.
Yeah, that's correct.
Just make sure.
Any other questions? Anything from the audience?
Let me answer a few questions on kind of how the nuts and bolts of this thing will work. We've actually been working with city staff for some time on this because if you'll remember, I think it was actually constructed back in the 1980s. It was finished maybe at the end of that period, but it was a planned unit development project that we did under the 801 housing project for the military, and then they leased these units for a period of 20 to 30 years. Well, that contract has run its course. They're no longer under contract to the military, so we had to figure out a way to where this one parcel of land with 200 housing units in it could survive going forward. And so what will happen there is, again, under a planned unit development ordinance, the streets will be dedicated to the city. They do qualify. They have the correct right-of-way width. They have the correct back to curb width. All of the units will currently meet a 20-foot setback requirement from the street rights of way, so that all qualifies under our current ordinances. And then these lots, or every house, will be cut up. You'll see it's hard to see, but if you look on your drawings, you'll see we've drawn in there bearings, property lines, distances for every lot. Now, they're not going to be 7,000 square foot lots like the original they will have individual description where they get first property. Area use or common areas, you might call them. The individual lots can be purchased. So I just wanted to run through. We have drainage in there. We have all utilities in place, easements. With all of that will remain. We'll have to do some legal work to get that transferred into how it needs to be. But we're working with the city attorney and the city manager and city staff on accomplishing some of those mechanical issues. But all of us think it's a workable solution.
Mr. Leidig, will there be any covenants?
Yes, I think we'll have to. They have not been written yet, but yes, there will have to be.
Okay, that would be my only concern on that. Thank you.
So in the covenants, will it specify the open areas and the common areas, how those will be handled, like either with an HOA or will the company retain ownership of them?
Yes. And like I said, we don't have anything in the city quite like this, so we're kind of having to feel our way. But I think that'll be absolutely necessary to file and have that.
Any questions? This is certainly a unique project, and I am aware of the housing demand, not just here, or not just in the nation, but everywhere. And I know that there is housing demand for military personnel as well. So, seems like a decent project to me. Commissioners, do you have any more comments or questions? Okay, I can call a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner London. Second by Commissioner Stewart. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Klein?
Yes.
Commissioner Stewart?
Yes.
Vice Chair London?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Commissioner Garza?
Yes.
Chairman Sewell?
Yes. All those in the affirmative, motion passes. All right, moving on to future items, we have on the agenda conditions for a vacant lot to be occupied with 5 MW Community Solar Garden. So that will be for the next commission meeting. Are there any other future agenda items that we need to be aware of, Mr. Chancho?
No.
Okay. Now for the 5th item, for the good of the order. Our next meeting date and time is 3 p.m. Wednesday, July 13th in the North Annex Clovis-Carver Library. If there is no other business, meeting is adjourned.